Guys, what's up and welcome to the Blitz Pools Fan Zone. I'm Rohan Manglani. With me is Sam Kapoor. What's up, Sam?
All good, man. Can't wait for the Euros to start. Been without football for so long. Eagerly awaiting to watch some football on TV, man. How's it going with you?
Very well, and I was just going to say that I can't wait for it too because we've had so much football since the last season, and luckily that it's just been a stop and like a quick restart, and we go again now with the Euros. How excited are you, Sam? First of all, do you have any favorites for the Euros?
So, in the last World Cup 2018, the four teams which reached the semi-finals were all from Europe. So, it's going to be a very intense battle this Euro 2020. I think my favorites for this tournament are France, obviously, just because of the sheer strength and depth of their squad. But I even have a hunch that Portugal might be able to retain their title. So I'm going to go with France and Portugal as my top two favorites. What about
Wow,
you?
and you know the it's funny you say that because they both are in the same group, so that's going to be even more
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
All right,
Along
let's
with
get.
Germany.
Sorry,
I said along with Germany, France,
along
Portugal,
with
Germany are in
Germany,
the same
yeah,
group.
and Hungary,
Yeah,
right, in that group. Yeah, it's
yeah,
a big
yeah,
group.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but let's do this group by group now, Sam. I'm going to take you through every group, and you're going to give me your prediction for the top three in that group, and also which are the players to look out for, who people can then choose in their pools in the Blitz Pools league. So let's
Yeah.
start right with it. Group A. Now, as you can all see on your screen as well, Group A has Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. Sam,
I think Italy, hands down would be the favorites to top this group. They have Ciro Immobile, they have Insigne. So if these guys, they've been doing very well domestically in the Serie A. They've had good seasons, but unfortunately, they haven't like fired all guns for the country. Italy obviously have Bonucci, Cellini. I think the best centre back pairing. So if these
yes,
guys get some goals ahead, then Italy should be favorites to qualify. That's what I
yes,
feel about
absolutely,
Group
and finish first. In fact, they also do have Insigne, who's been in good form in the friendlies. They have Federico Chizia, and they have Verratti, who's now very experienced and I mean, he's a leader in the midfield. So, and they have obviously Bernardeschi again. So that's a very strong Italy lineup. You're right, the pressure's on them. They've not really, shown up in these tournaments, in international tournaments, but they've had a good session of friendlies and qualifiers, etc., to get through.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're going for Italy first to top the group. Then who's next?
I'm going
There's
for
Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales.
So I'm going to go for Wales. Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale. They had a good run last time out in the Euros. They did really well. So I think they have Robson Kanu playing up top. So they've done well in the qualifiers. I think Wales is a good team. They might be able to get out of this group, and maybe Switzerland along with them. Sure, mainly because Switzerland has a good defense. They've always been organized. They don't leak many goals. So I believe this Euros, we aren't going to see many goals scored easily because all these European teams are so compact, so nice, and so organized in defense. So teams which have a good defense would be able to pull out draws against the big names. So that's why I'm going to go with these three.
So what about Turkey now? Don't you think that they are a bit underrated with players like Barak Yilmaz and Kabak and Soyuncu? And I think they also have uh, the Leicester guy, the Leicester City forward who plays for them, Cengiz Under also.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that Turkey also is a decent squad. Now, amongst Turkey, Switzerland, and Wales, anybody worth taking in your pools?
As I told you, Ramsey, Gareth Bale, all these guys should fire and get some goals.
Bale will
Obviously,
be the
if you
main
go for
man.
clean sheets, yep, yep. And if you again talk about clean sheets and not conceding goals, Soyuncu, the guy who plays for Leicester, good on set pieces going ahead, very tight at the back. So yeah, I think these guys will be six from Group A.
Okay, so just to wrap up Group 1, you're going with Italy, Wales, and
Switzerland. I'm still going with Switzerland, not
oh, you're
Turkey.
still going with Switzerland. So you feel Turkey is
Yeah.
out and Switzerland is in. Okay, that's a
Yep.
good prediction. That's a bold prediction. Let's quickly move on
Yep.
to Group 2, Group B. Group B has Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. No prizes for guessing this. Who's going to top this group?
Yeah. So again, Belgium very very strong. Lukaku in form, being voted the MVP of Serie A. Amazing number of goals and assists. I'm actually going to back Lukaku to be top scorer in this entire tournament, given the form he's in, given the level of opponents they have in their group. I think this is the easiest group, Group B, and Belgium should hands down be winners. Maybe Denmark could finish second. I don't think Finland would make it through.
No, I kind of agree. In fact, I feel Belgium will definitely top the group. I think that this is a great opportunity, and probably now the only opportunity left for this set of the Belgium class of players, to play together and win
Yeah,
something, because they've come third, they've always been in that
definitely.
situation of just about making it. But the likes of Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Vermaelen is still there. Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Thorgan Hazard, all of Dries Mertens, Lukaku, Batshuayi. I think that the likes of all these players, this is probably their last chance to shine in a tournament together. Don't you think?
Definitely, they are due to deliver. They've been ranked in the top three in the FIFA rankings. Unfortunately, haven't won any major tournament. Like you said, they came third in the World Cup. So even I expect them to fire this tournament and make it to the last four.
So, who are the players you would take from Belgium now in this group? I feel that if you're making your pools, then from the Belgian team, which are the key players you would go
I'm
for?
gonna go with Courtois for sure because I think
Hmm.
these guys are not going to leak goals in their group games. They are going to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go for Courtois in goal, Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield for obvious reasons, and Lukaku up top just because of his form and his goal scoring ability. Even in the few friendlies Belgium has played, Lukaku has delivered. They don't have another amazing striker to fill in instead of him. So I expect Lukaku to start and play most of the games. So I think these three guys are going to be my top picks for Belgium.
Absolutely. I think no doubt over there, Sam. So okay, so your top three for this group: Belgium, of course,
Yeah, Belgium, Denmark, and yeah.
Russia
So
or
I
Finland.
think Russia, Finland. See, basically, I think the top four third-ranked teams from each group would make it. So I think from this group, it's going to be only two teams that go through. That's why I'm going for Denmark and going for Belgium. Again, if you ask me to choose a third, it's definitely going to be Russia. I was there for the World Cup in Russia when Russia beat Spain in the penalty shootout.
We
So
were
they
there
are one team
together.
which has yeah, so they have tremendous determination and tremendous organization, but not that fluent and flamboyant going on top, going and scoring goals, but good defensively. So that's why I would go for Denmark, Russia, and then Belgium from this group.
Lovely. Lovely. Okay, moving on now to Group C, Sam. Group C has Austria. They have Netherlands, who look absolutely phenomenal in their pre-tournament friendlies.
Yeah.
Depay has been on the next level. There's North Macedonia and there's Ukraine with some really interesting players. But yeah, take us through. Tell us what do you feel, Sam, on in this group.
So Holland again in the European nations finals, whatever they had, the Euro Nation tournament, they finished second after I think Portugal. Yeah, they came runners up. So I think Holland are definitely going to miss Van Dijk at the back because he's not playing this tournament. But again, as you said, going attacking, they have very good options in Depay. They have Luke De Jong who's going to play striker, Frankie De Jong in the midfield, Wijnaldum,
They have Quincy
they
Promes.
right
Yeah.
Quincy Promes. Yeah, so they have good attacking young talent, and I think this is one team wherein the players they have play better for their country than they play for their clubs. I feel so. This young group of players, I think they've been together from under 17 level, and they have good chemistry, very good team environment as per what I've read. So Netherlands are my favorites to top this group, but I even fancy Shevchenko's Ukraine man, like players like Yarmolenko, Konoplyanka, Malinovsky. They have some really
Malinovsky.
good young talent there. So I think Ukraine and Holland are my favorites to go through from this group.
And who's going to finish third?
I don't think North
Austria.
Macedonia is going to make it. Maybe
Oh,
Austria because they have
Austria.
better
With
players.
Arnautovic leading the line.
Arnautovic, they have Alaba, I think. So
Yes,
yeah, more
right.
experience players playing in the bigger leagues, better match management, more experience. So I think that's why Austria might edge it past North Macedonia.
All right, cool. We'll go with that. Now, coming to Group D. The Group D is, everybody's eyes are on Group D because obviously the favorites are not the favorites. I mean, the public favorites or the most talked about. And especially with this English squad now, Sam, it's a big, big tournament for England. There's a lot of pressure. They probably have one of the best teams in the last 10 years, 15 years, with looks like a very balanced squad. It's again depends on whether Gareth Southgate will actually play that team which everybody wants to see, because he's not done it in the pre-tournament friendlies. But yeah, well, there's also Croatia in this group. There's Czech Republic and there's Scotland, who are not bad at all.
So, Rohan, I feel like you said, England have a very, very promising young side. But again, to win these major tournaments, you do need a blend of youth and experience. So for me, if Maguire is not fit and Maguire cannot play, I think Gareth Southgate might shift to three at the back, maybe accommodate Luke Shaw and Chilwell both. So
But do
it'll be
you think
interesting
Luke
to
Shaw
see.
can play at three at the back? Because I think that he's better with like four at the back. I mean, if you have to play three at the back, I would rather go with Chilwell.
Yeah, so I would go with the Chilwell, but play him maybe as a wing back like he did for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So every manager would like his best players to be on the pitch, his best 11 players on paper to be there on the pitch and deliver. So if Maguire plays, it's going to be interesting to see who partners him in defense. I think it's going to be John Stones, and John Stones is going to be my pick in my fantasy team as well. Because again, England is one team which, works very hard on set pieces. And a funny stat is John Stones had more clear-cut chances to beat the goalkeeper than Lionel Messi had in the 2018 World Cup. So Stones got 2 goals from set pieces in the 2018 World Cup and missed a clear chance. So I think with the Southgate corner kicks and free kick strategies, England are again going to score many goals from set pieces like they did in the 2018 World Cup. So yeah, Phil Foden, again, amazing talent. Waiting to see Harry Kane. We've seen so much of him in the Premiership. So these players are due to deliver. They've had a very long season. Let's see how it goes for them. I think along with England, Croatia definitely, Perisic, Modric. I think this is the last
Also,
major tournament for these two guys.
you're
Yeah,
right. You're right. And there's also Rebic, who I think will play majority of these
yeah,
games. He's been playing and
yeah,
might
yeah.
be a good pick to consider for your pools, because I see him completing all these games also and playing the entire time. I think again when it comes to Scotland, obviously we all know there's Robertson, who will be playing in a little more advanced position, more than even Liverpool for Scotland. So again, tough group. But okay, who's your three in this group? Who's going to top this group?
I think England should top, and Croatia and Scotland might be the ones who finish second and third. Croatia, I think, would make it to the knockout stages, but wouldn't progress because I think their players are a little old and they don't have much depth in their squad. But they surprise everyone reaching the finals of the World Cup.
Yeah.
So let's see how they do in this tournament.
Well, absolutely. Let's see. Let's look at that. Moving on now to Group E. Group E has Poland. They have, it could be Lewandowski's last Euros. You never know. There's Slovakia. There's Spain now with, added defensive fire with Emerick Laporte playing for Spain and Adama Traore playing for Spain. And then there's Sweden in this group, in Group E. Sam, what's your thought on Group E?
Again, see, Spain would be favorites. Again, this is not a very, very difficult group. They aren't like two big major teams here. So Spain under Luis Enrique are doing well. I think the under 21 team beat the Lithuanian side 4-0 in a recent international friendly. They have some issues with COVID-19 in their camp, like Busquets and Llorente have tested positive. So that's going to hit them. But, the quality, the sheer quality of players they have, like Rodri, Thiago, Laporte, as you said, Alba at the back, De Gea in goal. Most of these players play in the Spanish league. They play in the La Liga, the guys who are playing for Spain. So I expect them to get out of this group and top the group. And I think along with them, Poland might make it through. They are heavily reliant on Lewandowski. But again, a team which, like Switzerland, is very, very organized in defense. Everyone knows what their job is. Everyone knows what they need to do. A well-drilled team. So I think Poland and Spain should make it through from this group. And maybe I'm going to go with, I think, Sweden, just like a shot in the dark.
All right, I think I'll actually agree with you in probably in the order of Spain, Poland, and Sweden, in that order. But again,
Yeah.
I think that because the competition is so complicated, I think that there are two teams which won't go through into the next round. basically. And I think that one of them, I mean, in this group, I see only two going through actually. I don't see the
Fair
other
enough.
teams getting, but you never know. So well, we'll stick to that. But tell me something. I wanted to ask you when you were asking this, when you were talking about Spain and you were speaking about firepower, in their midfield, etc. But what do you think about their firepower up front? They this time there's no Iago Aspas who's traveled with Spain, and nor do they have like a I mean, obviously there is Morata is there. There's Gerard Moreno is also there, but played again very less for Spain. So do you have any doubts with their forward line?
Yeah, I think a centre forward position for them would be, I think Morata would play there, but again, it's not their strongest position. We've seen David Villa, Torres, all these guys in the past occupy that striker role
Hmm.
for Spain. But after they've gone, I don't see anyone who's filled into the boots. Morata is, hot and cold at times. They have
Hmm.
this player called Danny Olmo. He's good,
Yeah,
but even he normally plays on the side. So it's going to be
right.
interesting to see what they have, in terms of goal scoring. I think their midfield and defense is pretty sorted, but goal scoring is good, might be an issue for them. And maybe we have someone like an Adama Traore step up and deliver. So it's going to be interesting to watch, man. Let's see.
No, absolutely. And for people who are watching, I'll just reiterate Sam mentioned a player called Danny Olmo. Do watch out for him. I think he's a superb kid. I think he's going to really,
Yeah.
really rise to the occasion sooner rather than later. And also, we'll cover this point after the last group. And the last group now, Group F, Sam, as you know, it's the most talked about group. It is the most dreaded group, and it is the group of death with France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal.
I just feel bad for Hungary, man. All these teams are gonna go all guns blazing against the Hungarians to get their goal difference up. Because I don't see Germany, Portugal, Germany, France, these matches, many goals being scored because teams in the group stage are going to be very, I think, conservative, I feel, hold on to the clean sheet. They wouldn't want to lose and draw points. They wouldn't want to give up on a higher rank in the group. So I think against the Hungarians, they would go all out. But it's going to be amazing for us viewers, to watch France versus Portugal, Germany versus Portugal, because I think the top 10 players in the world internationally, most of them come from these three countries, man. Like France, as we know, has an amazing team. Portugal with Ronaldo maybe playing his last Euros. Germany,
Definitely.
Germany with Werner Havertz being in top form after winning the Champions League, having the power, the firepower with Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Muller, all these guys coming in is going to be literally the group of death. And I hope that three teams from this group make it through to the knockout, so that it's good for us viewers and we have some more fun watching them play, man.
Absolutely. I cannot agree with you more on that one. But quickly you tell me three of your top players from France, from Germany, and from Portugal, and I'll tell you mine.
So I'm going to go with Griezmann, Mbappe, and Benzema got injured. He had a dead leg in one of the friendlies. So Benzema or Giroud, depending on whoever's fit and whoever's going to play. That's what I'm going to do for France. What about you?
I am going to go with Paul Pogba. I'm going to go with Mbappe for sure, and Griezmann, like you said, for France. These, I think, I'm going to bet on these three players because I think that Kante has been in such good form, which will free up Paul Pogba, and he's also discussing and negotiating his contract at the moment. I think he'll be very keen to perform at this point of time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I feel Pogba. Germany now.
Again, depending on whether he starts Muller or Werner up front, I think Germany would create chances. Serge Gnabry for sure. I'm going to go for him. Manuel Neuer for sure because of the amounts of saves he makes, his sheer presence in goal. So Tony Cruz, another one, amazing pass completion rate, controls the tempo of the game, and yeah, I think these are going to be my picks from Germany.
That's cool, man. I think that Germany, I'm actually going to go for Timo Werner because I think he'll come alive in the internationals. I'm going to go for this left back, Sam Robin Gosens. I think he gets himself in some phenomenal positions and he plays quite up,
Definitely.
and Germany are playing, I think they'll set up with three at the back because, as we know, their defense is not the best at the moment. They struggle with pace. is what I feel. So I think that Robin Gosens will play. They'll play 3-3-4-3 or maybe a 3-5-2. You never know. But definitely Robin Gosens, obviously Timo Werner, and I'll probably just go with Kimmich as an important player. I don't know if Kimmich is going to actually get points in the pools, but I'll go with Kimmich because I feel that he's a big game player and he's a big tournament player, and he stands up. All right, for Portugal now.
Cristiano Ronaldo, captain in every game he plays just because of his sheer desire. I think if he wins the Euros again, he's going to be the I think the first player to win Euro back. And I think another record, if he scores, he's going to be the only player to do so in 3 or 4 consecutive Euros. So Cristiano Ronaldo for sure. And along with that, Bruno Fernandes, man.
He
So
scored
both of them
against
scored in
Israel
the
last night, and he's
yeah,
also,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's doing well. And
So I think
who
these
else?
two are going to be the ones. And Ruben Dias at the back, man.
Yeah,
Like
I
Pepe was the MVP in the last Euros which Portugal won. So Pepe along with Ruben Dias as a centre back pairing is going to be one of the top pairings from all the teams in the Euros. I feel I'm really looking forward to watch them play.
absolutely, man. I think I'm going to agree with all three of your picks. I think they are the most important players, these three for Portugal. And okay, what order are they going to finish in? In Group F? I know this is tough.
Uh, I think France, Germany, Portugal in that order.
France,
Germany, Portugal.
Germany,
Germany,
Portugal. I mean, honestly, that same thing is in my mind. But however, if Portugal get through and if they are lucky enough to go to the next round, which I feel that they will go to the next round, I think that this tournament can change a little bit, because I think that there's something about Portugal that they come alive in the knockout stages, at least of late, and they'll
yeah,
want to do that. Their players are phenomenally talented. I mean, that's obviously, that doesn't need to be said, but they come with, they rise to the occasion. Players like Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, João Felix, Ruben Diaz. I mean, oof. I really want Portugal to qualify, most definitely.
yep.
But well, guys, you've heard our teams who we feel are going to go through to the knockout stages. You've heard some of the key players who we believe in. And we will join you after the knockout stages. After the qualifying round and just before the knockout stages again. Please play safe. Be safe, play responsibly, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Sam. We shall
Thanks,
compare
guys.
notes.
Cheers. Yeah.
Alright guys, let's just go through the rules in scoring. For every player who's played 55 minutes or more, he gets 2 points. Played less than 55 minutes, there's a point given. For every goal scored by a goalkeeper or a defender, that's 10 points. For every goal scored by a midfielder, that's 9 points. For every goal scored by a forward, that's 8 points. For every assist, that's 5 points. For every 20 passes completed by a player, that's a single point. For a clean sheet by a midfielder, that's a single point again. That's a clean sheet for a goalkeeper or defender is valued at 5 points. For every 3 shots saved by a goalkeeper, that's 2 additional points. For every penalty saved by a goalkeeper, that's 9 points. For every 3 successful tackles made, that's a point again. For a yellow card, it is -1. For a red card, it is -3. For every own goal, it is -2. For every 2 goals conceded by a goalkeeper or defender, it is -1. For every penalty missed by a player, it is -2.